Hello everybody, it's Kaitlin. Welcome back to another journaling video. So today is, Sunday, August 20th, and I think I've been in this journal for a little over 2 weeks, and I always find whenever I set up a new journal or planner, the idea I have for this setup sometimes changes, and I sometimes tend to tweak things the first couple weeks I'm in the planner and I'm actually using it and seeing what works and what doesn't. So today I thought I'd just share with you a couple updates with my Hobonichi Techo, talk a little bit about some of the changes that I've made so far to this planner. Also, I wanted to chat a little bit about how I'm finding this planner in general. I know a lot of people find the daily pages very overwhelming in this book because it's a full page per day, which is definitely something that I'm working through. So I thought I'd talk about that as well and share how I'm finding that. And then finally, I thought I would end it off by talking a little bit about my plans for the 2024 Hobonichi store sale situation, because as of filming this, they are on the final day of the kind of surprise reveals of the different collections and covers and pencil boards and stuff that they'll be releasing. So I thought I would share kind of what I'm thinking of picking up from the store if I am, and talk a little bit about those plans as well. So I think that was long enough. Let's just get into it. How have I been liking my Hobonichi cousin? It's been really great, guys. I was kind of afraid that the structure would be a bit too much for me. I wasn't sure if it would be kind of not flexible enough. I would feel restricted and want to go back to bullet journaling, but so far, a couple weeks in, the pre-made pages have been so nice. I think I said this in my last video, but I really like how the Hobonichi spreads provide structure while still giving you a bit of flexibility to do what you want in your spreads, and I've been still finding that with these pages. They've been really good, and it's really nice just having the book laid out for you. I have been really enjoying it a couple weeks in, which is very interesting. I never thought I would be this person, but alas, here we are. In terms of changes, the only big one that I've done so far, this is I don't know the name of this spread exactly. I think it's called either the yearly calendar or the perpetual calendar or the yearly index. Someone tell me below so I can name it properly in the future, but this is just a page that has each month kind of with this baby vertical calendar here. I've seen people use this to write upcoming appointments or upcoming things in their calendar. Originally, I was going to use this page as an index of what happened every day so I could more easily reference my daily pages, but if you can tell, let me see if I can show you my tricks. So if you can tell here, I actually used a little bit of paper here to cover up the first 5 days of August. And that's because originally I had planned to use this as kind of a quick reference point for the different things that happened in my daily spreads. But a couple days into it, I found that when I was updating my weekly spreads as well as my monthly spread, which I'll show you because I don't think I had any of that filled out before, those pages already provided that kind of reference for those bigger events that I probably want to go back and look back on. So I found that this page was creating a bit of overlap with the weekly and the monthly. And also I was finding with the monthly, I'll just show you, I had an original plan to use this bottom section for habit tracking. And normally when I did this in an A6, I would track my habits across both pages because the A6 page is significantly smaller than the A5. However, in the A5, because the page is so big, you have this weird amount of space to track habits with, and I kind of wasn't sure how that was gonna work. It didn't really make sense to me, and then I was looking at this spread and realized, hey, this is already laid out for me as a habit tracker. You know, it has every day and then columns for each category of things you want to track. So why don't I switch it up, use this section for habit tracking, and then that's taken care of. It's kind of cool because then I can also compare my habits and progress across multiple months, so I can see how the different months varied in terms of habit progression, which I think is really valuable. And then with the monthly pages over here, I can use this bottom space for TV shows and movies that I've watched and books I've read and video games I've played. So then this page is like a full capsule, a full high-level summary of the month. I have kind of my high-level task list, high-level events and things that happened, and then a high-level media that I consumed, which made a lot more sense to me. So I did make that change, and I just covered up the section that I'd started writing on with some paper. I cut this out of one of my memo books, which is like this book that I have in the back. I didn't cut it out of this one because I'm using this one, but I had another one that I cut it out of, and I just stuck the piece of paper over top, and I set this up as a habit tracker. So I'll just bring my journal up so you guys can see how it looks. But what I've done is I pretty much just cross out the day that I complete the habit. I try to make all of my habits things that I would ideally be able to and want to accomplish every day. So definitely trying to make them reasonable and something that I could actually like easily do. And the things that I have here, I've noted just in July because I started this journal in August, but I wrote in here in pencil the different categories so I can reference them, and they are journaling every day, so writing in this planner. Quality time, so that is doing something kind of like self-care, but just meaningful, not just kind of sitting down and watching TV, but either reading a book, playing a video game, spending time with friends, kind of that sort of thing. Less screen, so did I make a conscious effort not to be on my computer like 16 hours out of the day? This is like outside of work hours, of course, because I work on a computer during the day. I don't count that time, but this is mostly to focus on the time when I'm not at work on a computer. Am I being more mindful about being on the screen less then? This one here is vitamins. I'm really trying to get back into taking my vitamins. As you can see, it's not super consistent yet, but hoping to use this to kind of get back on track with taking my daily vitamins. Then I have my 3 rings on my Apple Watch. So every day I try to fill my move ring, my exercise ring, and my stand ring. So for each of those, I will cross them out. And then the final one over here on the right is going outside and just pretty much making sure that I leave my house every day and I go outdoors. So that's how that is working so far. This is really easy. What I do is I fill out the day prior, the morning of the next day when I'm drinking my tea, and it's pretty easy to do when you're tired / not fully awake yet, at least for me. And I think this is just a really easy way to use this calendar that's been working quite well so far. So really been liking this change and using this as a habit tracker. All right, so next up is the monthly page. I think the last time I talked to you, I hadn't filled this out yet, so you can kind of see how I'm using it right now. I have not decorated it yet just because I want to wait till the month is a little more filled up before I cover any spaces with stickers. But pretty much this is kind of how you'd use a typical monthly calendar. I will put in dates that are coming up in this calendar, so things like when I get paid, at work when my sprints start because we work in an agile workplace, times when I'm meeting friends or going places, having dinners. And then you'll kind of notice, because these 2 weeks haven't happened yet, the weeks that have already occurred up here, in addition to the things that are going to happen, I will also go in and write down any kind of main events or high-level things that happened that day. So let's see, for example, this was not written in on Saturday, but I wanted to have a record here to note down that I went book shopping at the mall. So I just wrote that in so that when I look back on this, I can kind of see that high-level overview of the different things that happened in the month. So kind of a future planning tool, but then as the month progresses, it morphs into being more of an archive and documenting tool to show how I spent the month. On the, let's see, on the left here, I have just a simple task list for the month. These are things that I need to do that don't need to happen on a specific day, or they need to happen on a specific week of the month, so I can just plan them out here. And then I haven't written them in yet, but once the month is over, I'm gonna write down kind of the top books and movies and video games that I enjoyed the most during the month. And I'll probably go in and decorate this during probably the last week of the month, so I know which blank spaces are going to stay blank, and I can cover those over with stickers if I want to. Okay, so it's been about almost 3 weeks of weekly spreads so far, so I'm gonna flip through a couple of them just to show you how I've been decorating them, because I'm still waiting for the month to end to decorate my monthly, but what I wanted to kind of fill you in on today was a little bit on my strategy / how I'm decorating my cousin on the weekly and daily pages, which I've already started. So as you can see here, I have tried to take a bit of a conservative approach to decorating, because I go through, almost 8 spreads, not spreads. I go through, 7 daily pages a week, 1 weekly page, and then I guess a quarter of a monthly page. I definitely want to have fun and add stickers for visual interest so that the pages are nice to look at. But I want to make sure that I'm doing it in a way that's sustainable. So you'll see here, I have been adding some stickers, but I'm trying to keep it really simple, not go crazy, because first of all, if you can see here, a lot of the space is filled up with kind of my daily log of the day and what happened, but also I just don't want to start using stickers as a reason to overthink and over obsess about my journal. So yeah, just trying to keep it really simple. These are some smiley face stickers from Amazon, star stickers from Amazon, which I really like. And then I have been using these cat stickers. These are actually from a PET tape roll that I cut out, but these are by Peon, and every time I use these cat stickers, I feel like I'm betraying my dogs, because I have 2 dogs. I don't own any cats. My family is allergic to cats, but I don't know what it is, but these cats are just so cute, and I feel like it really goes with the Hobonichi cousin, which I feel like is kind of a weird thing to say, but it does, and they're neutral, so they tie in well to a lot of spreads. So yeah, you'll see a couple cats in this journal, and I know my dogs are probably very sad at the thought, but there we go, it's happened. So we have some cat stickers here, and then this is actually, I'll grab it for you. This is actually a sticker from this set by Soutelier. These are the plain deco stickers, and they have these really cool terrazzo print ones. And they're just really simple. You can put them on their own or layer them. And I've been really enjoying kind of that combination of really cute, neutral watercolor illustrations with the kind of more simplistic shape stickers, which you'll see as we go through. I usually decorate my weekly pages after the fact, so this page is completely blank and I probably won't decorate it until Monday of next week. And then besides the weeklies, let's talk about the dailies, which I have been decorating. So I think I showed you this one last time. I've added a cat here as well as a sticker from this set. This is one of the bronze ones. And I find they just layer really nicely over photos and they just are really easy to work with and add to your journal, which I really like. But I have started to decorate in my daily pages now that I've started to kind of find a rhythm with writing in them every day. I will flip through them now just so you can see what they look like, but I just want to say right away, I have been really trying. Oh, actually, I'll mention this first. So I originally stuck in this dragon sticker. Not sticker, I printed this out and I didn't really like it after a while, so I decided to cover it up. So I actually cut out a piece of paper from my memo book and taped it in, but that's why you see this flap here, because I just didn't really want to look at it anymore. I'll go over the stickers I've been using in here, but just to give you an overview of how the pages look, I have been trying to kind of stick in photos and ephemera where it makes sense and where I have things for the day. But I've also been really trying to make an effort to not decorate every single page of my dailies. So that's all of them right now. I have 18. I need to journal about yesterday, which was Saturday. But we're all caught up and I haven't found it to be like too overwhelming or too difficult to update these every day. I think the key is not leaving them so long that you're updating like for 4 days. I find that I will go 1 or 2 days without updating my daily pages, and that's usually pretty easy to write about, but also I'm really trying not to decorate them too much so they are manageable but still interesting to look at. So here I didn't really do any decoration besides the photos. Here I've actually put in, let me grab it, this guy from this PET tape. So this is a new item for me, and I will show you here. This, oh, come on. Okay, there we go. This is a PET tape from a Taiwanese brand called Ars Studio, and oh my gosh, you can see my watch tan. Yikes. And this is called All the Flowers. It is hands down probably one of the most beautiful PET tapes I've ever seen in my life. I love it. I think it's just so cool. I love the really organic illustrations and the different colors of this tape. There's a lot of different kind of colors going on, which I thought was cool because then I can kind of mix it up and match colors to the different daily page colors that come in the Hobonichi, which I thought would be really fun. Also, I thought that it would match the different photos and ephemera I had as well, so I could kind of do a color coordinating situation. And I actually did that on, this day. I kind of matched the greens from the screen caps I took from Minish Cap, which is a Game Boy Advanced video game that I've been playing on my Switch. And I kind of matched the greens to this guy, which is part of the PET tape here. So I kind of matched him. This one also would have worked, but I wanted to pull in a bit of the blue so that it paired with the color of the daily pages. So that's been really fun. And yeah, just like adding little sprinkles of decoration while still focusing on letting the writing be the main thing, along with pasting in different photos from the day and things I was doing. So these are really just like the accent, the final accent piece. This is another one of the cats from the Peon PET tape. It's called, I think it's called Cat Girl, which my dogs I'm sure love, but it's just so cute. I went out for brunch with my friend Emily here, so I thought the cat with his little fork and knife was perfect for that kind of day, and I also pasted in the receipt here over top of the journaling. Let me see if I can talk about the progress for this, because one of the things I was really unsure about with these pages is the daily page itself can feel a little daunting. It's definitely not a small piece of real estate. You know, it's definitely not like a short amount of writing like you would do in an A6 or a week's, you know, it's a pretty big piece of space if you want to fill the entire page with writing. What I found has helped is, so first of all, I use part of the left column for to-do lists when I need to, so that takes up space. I also find that what I'll do is if I have this space for my to-do list and I've written in the day, it looks really nice to just like add a sticker here, and you don't really need to fill up the rest of the page unless you want to. Also, I've stuck in like sticky notes for notes, which has kind of helped fill it up as well. But also I just don't bother filling up some of the days. I don't try to fill up every single page because I think that's a lot of pressure to put on yourself. And I think that not every day is going to have a full page of writing just because, you know, not every day has the same level of like activities and, you know, exciting things that you might want to write about. But one of the things that I have been using the page for is I will actually create additional lists in the left column, which has been cool. So these aren't lists like note lists, but they are lists that reference something I did in the day. I feel like that was confusing, so let me just tell you how I did this. So for example, on this top area here, I created my list for the day. This is the stuff that I needed to do. And then I wrote about my day here. And then because I was playing Minish Cap, I thought it would be cool to use part of the left column as kind of a play log. So I could record the progress that I did that day through the game. And how I did this was for each thing that I did. So getting a certain element, which is important for progressing in the game, or finding a new location or getting a new item, I would write that down as I got it, very similarly to my actual to-do list. And not only did this fill up the space, but more importantly, I thought this would be really cool to look back on, because now as I flip through these pages, I can kind of reference this Minish Cap progress list that I've created on all my daily logs. So I can see all the days that I've played, what exactly I did, which I don't know, I just think that's really cool. I think it's really interesting to see and have a record of those things and what exactly you did, because I forget things very easily. So having a place to record those things is great, because then I won't forget. Yeah, so like here I wrote down some things, and then I did actually a bit of journaling about the progress, or this page was the lack of progress, because I got all the way up to the top of a dungeon and then died and had to go all the way back up again. And I wanted to write about that. It's not like anything groundbreaking, but I think it'll be kind of funny to look back on. So yeah, that's how the daily pages have been looking. And I would say in terms of like the level of difficulty, I don't think that's the right word, for filling them out, definitely it is a commitment. I think sitting down and journaling about your day every day to this scale is a commitment. But what I've found has helped me is I kind of try to sub this in instead of watching, 10 minutes of TV, because realistically writing, I don't know, something this long would only take me 10 minutes. So it seems sometimes daunting when I go to sit down at the beginning of the day, and I'm like, oh my gosh, how do I fill up this giant page? But it really doesn't take a super long time. I think the trick is just carving out 10 to 15 minutes to sit down and do it, and that is the hardest part. Kind of like if you're going to the gym, the hardest part is actually getting dressed and getting there. When you actually do the workout, I find the resistance is not really there as much as just actually getting your butt into the gym in the first place. So I think the key is honestly just being realistic about the amount of time it takes, reminding yourself of that, and carving out the habit. And I'm gonna do a flip through of all my pages at the end of August. I think I might do one every month so that we can look at the pages together. I can show you how they look and I can talk about the month, but I am genuinely so excited to flip through these and actually read them. And I just think it's really cool that I have my month so well documented. It's something that I'm not sad doesn't exist for the rest of the year. I'm more so happy that I've finally gotten to a place where I can have my record, my little book of my life, and everything that kind of happened in the month is all in here, which I don't know, I think is really, really cool. So yeah, daily pages are going super well. And oh, the only other thing I would mention for the decorating piece is something that's really helped me with decorating. If you're also someone who gets very easily overwhelmed like me, is for decorating, I find what helps me make it fun and not overthink it and make it something not fun is to pick a couple things that you want to use in your journal. I've kind of narrowed mine down to these stickers from Soutelier, so kind of these plain geometric stickers, these star stickers, these little smiley face stickers, this PET tape, and then I don't have it here, my cat PET tape, and I kind of have, what is that, 5 things that I kind of want to pull from in terms of elements for my journaling. And I think they work really well together. They kind of have a nice balance and also work well with the journal itself. So when I'm going to decorate, because I've kind of chosen almost like a capsule, kind of like capsule wardrobing, capsule journal supplies of what I want to use in my journal, it makes it a lot easier to actually go ahead and decorate because it helps limit the options so that I'm not super overwhelmed the minute I sit down to journal, which is really nice. So limiting it to a couple things has really, really helped me with that. This is the day I got the R Studio PET tape, so I stuck in the sticker. But yeah, just stuff like this is super cool. I think the most interesting stuff you can put in your journal is the photos and ephemera that you collect. And the stickers are fun too. I think they add visual interest, but the cool stuff is the photos and receipts and stuff like that. At least for me it is. Okay, final update. At the back, I am still going strong with using this as a restaurant log. I've added a couple since we've chatted. I've added 2. So I'm really curious to see how many of these I will do by the end of the year. I think it'd be wild if I could get to 50, but that might be a bit, a touch ambitious, but we will see. And then the commonplace book, nothing much here. I finished 1 page. I added the rest of my notes from a book I was reading, so just kind of filled that out recently, but not too much going on in here just because I don't read a ton of nonfiction books. To be honest, that's the reason why I don't have too much to put in here compared to the amount of daily pages that I fill out. in the rest of the cousin. So yeah, that's kind of a little update on how it's going. It's going really well. I really like it. I kind of have a backup plan in my mind that if I find this overwhelming, a really simple solution would be just to downsize to the A6 cousin or the A6 techo, and that's like a smaller space if I do want to have less room to journal if I am in a busier part of my life. But for now, I'm really liking the cousin, and I am planning on picking up another one for 2024. I know they have a couple variations of this journal for next year. They have this guy, which is the Japanese cousin. They have the English cousin, which I thought it was really interesting to see that they changed it so that it has a very similar layout like this. Last year's English cousin had the days of the weekend kind of carried over and had like a gray banner and then a red banner, and people did not really like that, which I wouldn't have liked that either, to be honest. So I thought that was cool to see that they made that change, and I'm assuming that was because of feedback from people who were using the planner. But there also is for next year a Hobonichi Han version of the techo, which is like the hardcover version instead of the soft cover, which I have here. I will say about that, I am very intrigued, but unless there's like a wild cover that I cannot resist, I'll probably just go with the same planner that I have this year, which is the English cousin. Or no, not the English cousin, this is the Japanese cousin. I took a look at the English cousin because I was thinking maybe I wanted to switch to that next year, and I think I'm gonna stick with the Japanese. First of all, I like that the Japanese has gray text on the front, purely from like an aesthetic standpoint, but also I really like how the Japanese cousin has the number of the month in this section. That's very like prominent, and same in the monthly page, it's the actual month number. In the English, they switch this so that it actually is the first 3 letters of the month. And I don't know why, but I just do not like that as much as the number. So I found that the Japanese version has been great to work with. As a non-Japanese speaker, it has not been any issue whatsoever for me to use the planner with the Japanese being prominent. So I think I'm just gonna stick with this unless something random changes my mind. I really just like the way the Japanese planner is laid out, and I like that this is gray and not yellow, so I think we're gonna be sticking with the Japanese version, but we will see. And then the only other thing I want to pick up besides this planner is I would love to see if they have any new designs of their pencil boards for the cousin size, so the A5 size that they come out with. I have right now this piece of, where is it? It's in my commonplace book. This piece of flyleaf paper that I've been using just to help with the writing, because I don't like when the writing transfers over to the other page, which could sometimes happen if you're, let's say, writing on this page and you don't have a piece of paper here. It'll actually kind of transfer the ink here over here through the indentations of your pen, which you can see a little bit if I don't even know if you can kind of see it here. It just leaves these like speckles, and I don't like that. So I just put the paper in between, and that solves the problem really easily. But I think it would also be nice, as my journal inevitably gets chonky, to have a pencil board as well, just to help create a bit more of a flat writing experience. So I'm keeping my eyes on the previews to see if a pencil board comes up that I'd be interested in. I haven't seen one so far, but I don't think the previews show all of the designs that they're releasing. It looks like it's just the new artists that they're collaborating with this year, because I haven't seen kind of the collections they always do, like the bow tie bunnies. I know they do a variation of that every year and I haven't seen that, so I think that's what they're doing. So maybe there will be other pencil boards that they just haven't shown yet. So once the website opens up, I'm gonna take a look, but definitely I want to get another cousin and I want to get another or a new pencil board. And then I would like to hunt down a better version of this clear cover, or maybe I'll just buy a new one. This one's not the best quality. It's scratched already and it doesn't fit the cousin super well, which you can see here, but I took a look at some alternatives that a couple of you recommended, which thank you, and none of them seem to have a pen loop, which is really important to me, so I'm gonna keep looking, but if I don't find anything, I'll probably just get another one of these for next year as well. And I think that is all I will be getting. Although I'm kind of tempted to buy a Weeks and a A6 just for fun, but I don't think we're gonna do that. I really hope we're not gonna do that, but yeah, that's the plan right now. Another Japanese cousin, a cute pencil board, I'm hoping, and another clear cover, and that should be good for me for 2024. So yeah, that is the update in terms of how this cousin is going. It's going really well. I am very excited to see how the month ends. It's been going really strong so far, so excited to see how it looks with a full month filled up, and honestly, the rest of the book filled up. I think it'll be so cool to flip through all the pages, and I'll flip through them with you at the end of the month, so I hope you look forward to that. But yeah, that is kind of how it's going so far. Let me know what you're planning on picking up so far from the Hobonichi release. Are there any collections that you thought were really interesting? I'm not a huge fan, but I really liked the One Piece collection. The Weeks cover looked really cute, and oh, there was another one that just came out. The Mother collection looked really interesting too. So definitely some cool stuff this year. Let me know what you think is looking cool this year and what you're planning on potentially picking up. And besides that, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, everybody.